She looked me straight in the eyes and said, "You weren't picked, Maggie. Not even once." That's when I realized the entire dream had been a rehearsed performance. In the suburban calm of Sacramento, where nothing extraordinary ever happens, Maggie Curtis was quietly losing her mind. A 42-year-old substitute teacher with no kids, 2 cats, and an Amazon Prime addiction, she had officially reached the maybe it's me phase of dating. She saw the flyer taped to her local coffee shop's corkboard. The Promise Club. Meet elite men, no fees for women. Love has standards, so do we. Beneath it, a glamorous photo of a couple dancing under fairy lights. Maggie smiled. This was it. She looked like someone who'd sold Manhattan 3 times before breakfast. Velvet voice, tight bun, heels like stilettos. Her off, a luxury apartment downtown that smelled like lavender, broken dreams and overconfidence. Clara cheerful rehearsed. We only accept high-caliber men, executives, surgeons, legacy attorneys. You'd be perfect for someone like Evan or Mitchell. Of course, everything's completely free for women. We just need a $95 processing fee for photos, non-refundable. Narrator. Free, with a price tag. But Maggie paid it. Why not? Clara made her feel chosen. She posed at Clara's in-house studio, trying not to feel ridiculous in front of a photographer named Chad, who kept adjusting the lighting, but never smiled. Narrator. Building unease. Then came silence. Weeks turned to months. The promised calls. Ghosts. Clara's voicemail. Maggie tried email, texts, even leaving voicemails that started friendly and ended somewhere between pleading and passive-aggressive. Maggie on phone pretending calm. Hey Clara, it's Maggie again. Just wondering if any matches came up. I'd love an update. Narrator. No reply, not even an emoji. Maggie's hope frayed like the hem of her patience. And then out of nowhere, Clara picked up. Clara dry, unbothered. Maggie. Look, you weren't picked. Not even once. That's what all those smiles were hiding. This service is designed for men. They pay me thousands. You don't. You're not my client. Narrator. Pause. It hit like a slap dipped in perfume. Professional. Cold. Brutal. Clara. Venomous. If you want real results, try paying like they do. Until then, go live your little life. Narrator. And then, click. Silence again. But this time, Maggie didn't cry. She opened her laptop, pulled up the payment receipt, the contract, the emails. She highlighted the fine print. She played back the recorded calls. Narrator. Shifting tone. Because this wasn't over. Clara. Devon had just messed with the wrong substitute teacher. She was charming when she took my money, but now she won't even return my calls. That's not matchmaking. That's a scam wrapped in lip gloss. Script. Narrator. Suspicious. Edge of irritated tone. Maggie Curtis was never one to chase, but when 3 months passed without a single match or even a courtesy check-in, she was chasing Clara Devon like rent on the first voicemails. Email. A carefully worded Yelp review she later deleted. And still, silence. Maggie tense, whispering into phone. Hey Clara, sorry to keep bothering you. Just checking in on any updates. Yeah, give me a call, okay? Narrator. Dry. Nothing. Cricket. Maybe Clara's Promise Club had a selective memory, or maybe they just forgot Maggie existed. But Maggie wasn't the only one falling through the cracks. One Tuesday afternoon, at a corner booth inside Java Bean Cafe, she overheard a woman at the next table whispering something familiar. Stranger. Frustrated. She said they'd be lining up 3 months and I've got zip. Not even a courtesy text. Narrator. Her name was Lisa. A dental hygienist with perfect teeth and a story that sounded identical. Paid the same photography fee. Same script. Same silent, different lipstick. They talked for over an hour. By the end it wasn't just bonding, it was evidence collection. Maggie resolute. She told you the men were doctors too, and you signed the same waiver, that I was top-tier material. Narrator. 2 women. Same trap. Maggie's suspicion had transformed into something colder, sharper. That evening, Maggie dug into her drawer, pulling out her contract. The one Clara had rushed her through. She zoomed in on the wording. All services are facilitated at the discretion of the agency. Discretion. A legal synonym for we owe you nothing. Narrator. Focused. She cross-referenced the names Clara had dropped. Evan. Mitchell. The wealthy bachelor. She found no public traces, no LinkedIn, no online footprint, not even a sketchy dating profile. Narrator, darkly amused. It was a boutique dating scam dressed in heels and human psychology. So Maggie did what any self-respecting, wronged woman would do. She called Clara again, but this time, she recorded it. Clara, annoyed. You again? Look, I told you, you weren't chosen. There's nothing else to say. Maggie calm. You just. Narrator, firm, preparing the next move. The next morning, Maggie walked into the county courthouse and filed a small claim suit. $195 for fraud, plus damages. This wasn't about money anymore. It was about principle. But Clara had no idea what was coming. She smiled in court like this was a joke. But the judge wasn't laughing, and neither were the 4 other women waiting with folders. Script. Narrator. Tense. Courtroom drama tone. The courtroom smelled like old wood, cold air, and unfinished business. Maggie Curtis sat in the plaintiff's seat, clutching her manila folder like a shield. Across from her, Clara Devon was all posture and perfume, confident, smiling, like she'd walked into brunch instead of a legal hearing. Clara, fake warm. This is honestly ridiculous. We have thousands of satisfied clients. Sometimes women just aren't selected, it happens. Narrator. But this wasn't brunch. This was war. The judge raised an eyebrow as Maggie stood, voice firm, evidence in hand. Maggie Claire, rehearsed. Your Honor, this woman charged me under the pretense of a service that never existed. I was never matched, never contacted. I even recorded her admitting I wasn't chosen, because she never intended to match me. Narrator. She played the voicemail. Clara's voice crackled through the speaker. Clara, recorded. If you want real results, try paying like they do. Until then, go love your little life. Judge deadpan, charming. Narrator. But it didn't end. 3 more women stood up from the gallery. Lisa, a woman named Robin, and another named Dana, each with nearly identical experiences, each with a folder. It wasn't a lawsuit anymore. It was a reckoning. Clara, rattled. This is absurd. They all signed disclaimer. I deliver possibilities, not guarantees. Judge, leaning forward. Possibilities don't include verbal abuse, false advertising, and taking fees under the illusion of matchmaking. You're not running a dating service, you're running a high-gloss illusion. Narrator, with quiet satisfaction. The gavel came down hard. Judgment in favor of Maggie and the other plaintiffs. Clara was ordered to refund every photo fee and pay additional damages. Clara, bitter, as she exits. This is just jealousy. You'll see. Maggie to herself. I already did. Narrator, reflective, resolute. Maggie walked out of that courtroom taller, not richer, but finally seen. Not picked by men in catalogs, but chosen by herself. And somewhere inside, Clara Devon's illusion cracked just enough for the next woman to see the warning signs. Because fairy tales fade, but justice leaves a mark.